Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the Camera Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood. I'm here with Ellie with her movie, Uniform. Let's take a look at a clip.
Nicholas, I need you to change. We're taking off this dress, we're gonna put on these pants. Do you understand?
It's a private school. They can do whatever they want. He needs to learn how to follow rules.
Not if the rules are asinine.
Especially if the rules are asinine. There's nowhere else for him to go.
I don't care.
Congratulations on your film.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's so, and thank you for coming all the way from New York City to be here with us. Like, it's lovely.
So amazing to be able to screen it here. It's our Ellie premiere, so we're really excited.
With the LA, oh, that's exciting for us too, and welcome to LA and Uniform and bringing it to the West Coast. We're very happy. For those that haven't had the pleasure of seeing it, tell us a brief synopsis.
Uniform is about two parents who are at odds with what to do when their 6-year-old son is sent home from school for wearing a dress.
Yeah, I mean, I was so happy you made this story. You know, I think it's something that we're a bit more open to speaking about now, but we still got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
And this story was so great to sort of see the parents' perspective and how they feel. Where did the inspiration come for you, Ellie, to create this project?
Well, it actually started with our writer, Jeffrey James Keyes, who wrote a play called Uniforms and developed it with the lead actress, Jodie Christopherson.
Great, yeah.
And so they came to me with my co-director, Michael Niederman. Actually, he's the one who brought this to me. And I just saw, first of all, it was an amazing script.
Yeah.
Secondly, it had such an amazing, like a wonderful universal theme. And I saw that this wasn't just a film about you know, a lesbian couple trying to raise a child. It was really about parenting, you know, in general. And I wanted to talk about this issue because we made this about 6 months after Angelina Jolie's daughter came out saying that she wanted to be addressed as a he.
Yeah.
And so we felt that it was a really topical film and a good time to make it. And we actually, both Jeffrey and Michael had friends whose sons were going through similar, you know, things. And so we felt like this is very relevant and we want to talk about this.
It must be great as a director to be like, you know, make a project like this, you know, because you know you're just gonna make people think, move people you know, get to direct these great actors. And obviously, really, you know, a young actor as well. Like, you know, how was that experience for you as a director?
Well, I'd never worked with a child actor.
Oh,
so
it's your first time?
It was my first time.
Wouldn't believe it.
Oh, well, you know, I think that's where me and Michael really complemented each other well as co-directors. He had a lot of experience with kids, and I felt good going into it, sort of learning from him and seeing how he worked with kids. And I learned a lot from him. He kind of took the reins in terms of working with London, who was the young actor that played Nicholas. And so it was a good challenge for me to do something I'd never done before directorially, and to work with Jodie Christopherson and Laura Gomez, who was incredible. I mean, both of them are incredible on screen together, and it was just such a huge honor.
That's some pretty prominent people in your film. You know, I was just stopped in my tracks because, you know, I've seen them in other things, and I'm like, wow, like they just give epic performances wherever they go. What was that experience like for you, just to have these, like, you know, them telling the story for these characters?
It was great because I didn't have to worry so much about whether they would be able to deliver. I knew I was working with professionals, and I think, you know, already you're dealing with so much logistically with the short. You know, we were dealing with location issues. We were dealing with, you know, trying to cast London, the little boy. That was a lengthy process. And so it was nice to know that, okay, we at least don't have to worry about these two lead actresses. We know that they're gonna, you know, bring it and that they're gonna do what they need to do. But also for me, as a director, when we're thinking about the shot list, I really wanted to craft, well, me and Michael wanted to craft the film around their performances. And so we kind of had to just like let them do their thing and, you know, adjust accordingly. And it was great being able to shoot that way.
And I love that, because I'm about to actually co-direct as well with my friend Sarah. What's it like, the dynamic, because I'm excited, but what's it like, the dynamic of co-directing a project together?
I think it's tricky.
Yeah.
And I think we were able to do it because Michael and I had a long relationship and we've been friends for many years. But we kind of focused, I was in film school at the time, so we focused on our strengths. And I knew that Michael had the experience with kids, as I said earlier, and I was bringing a little more of the visual side to it. And it just was a lot to manage. And so I think having two people made it a little bit easier. And I think it's important when you're co-directing to get on the same page. To make sure that you guys have the same vision for this film. And then and then it's sort of like, you know, you adjust as you go. You know, there will be times when you step on each other's toes, and that happened. And then you just kind of like regroup, and, you know, you realize that, hey, we're all trying to go in the same direction. We're all trying to make the same product. And, you know, hopefully your relationship kind of sees you through that process.
Yeah. Well, you're out here doing it, and that is fantastic. Now, I think it must be extra special when, you know, obviously, we've got constant entertainment, and that's always great. But when you're actually, you know, you're focusing in on a couple that so happen to be two women, and then you're focusing in on a subject that a lot of people haven't thought about, maybe have heard about it, but you're touching on things of like, wow, what if that was me? Or what if I was going through that? What would I do? Was it really powerful to be part of a project like that? And what has kind of been your audience reaction so far?
Yeah, I think even from the first time I read the script, I immediately put myself in that position. And I thought, how would I handle this situation? And that's one of the things that made me really excited to make the film. Yeah. Because I felt that it was, the film was universal enough in that sense that it would touch people in that way. And we've had an amazing reaction. I mean, we've had all different people coming up to us and saying, wow, this is not something I've thought of before, or I know someone in my kids' class who's dealing with this, or I know parents who are dealing with this, and just being validated in that sense that, like,
must be great to feel like, wow.
Oh, it feels amazing that the story is resonating. You know?
Yeah. I think it really is, and it's you know, I think it's particularly nice because obviously we focus in on different storytelling. We do that throughout the year at NewFilmmakers LA. But being, you know, a Pride Month is a bit more of a focus in on subjects like this and storytelling and love and everything else, and open up to areas that we don't necessarily think about as much as that we should, because we never know, we might be in that situation one day. But just having a better understanding of how people want to live their lives is so important, isn't it? Absolutely. And I think particularly when the film screened in areas where these issues don't necessarily come up, you know, at the forefront. Yeah. Those are the places where we've been really touched, where people are like, wow, I never thought that there were kids around the country dealing with this. Or that there were parents dealing with these kinds of issues. And it really is opening up a dialogue and broadening people's views on these issues. No, it's fantastic. And saying, you know what? Maybe it's not such a big deal. And it shouldn't be. See, that's what your films are doing. There you go. See, I love it. What was the biggest challenge for you? I would say co-directing. Because it's not something I'm used to doing. And again, if it hadn't been for the fact that Michael and I were such good friends going into this process, I think it could have gone a completely different direction. And also, this particular project, I wasn't at the helm of this in terms of, it didn't start with me. So I was coming on board to something where there were already, there's already a writer and a producer and Michael attached. And so just kind of like figuring out like how I could add to the project, you know, and still like find the right balance of how to collaborate with all of these like super talented, super opinionated, artists. I think that was the biggest challenge, and they'll probably agree with me on that. No, it's great. Well, I mean, obviously we know you got two fantastic, star actresses. It was absolutely great. How do you, I mean, again, you've got a young person who, talented young person. You're set for life, basically. We can see it. But how did you, as a director, like obviously you said you got obviously support in that, but how was it like explaining about the situation, about the story? Was that something that was quite difficult? That's a good question. One of the reasons we cast London is because, well, first of all, both of his parents are actors. And so it's first you're dealing with the parents. When you're working with a child, the parents have to be comfortable and okay with that. In how they're having that dialogue with their child.
So they were excited about it, and London just was like, yeah, it's cool, you know, like.
Isn't it great?
I was just like, wow, he's so mature for his age, and was really the only child actor that came in and kind of got it right off the bat, and was like, this isn't a big deal. So what if, you know, a boy wants to wear a dress, you know, and he's not that.
Isn't that great to hear that? Isn't that just like,
And he's the kind of young actor that already knows who he is, and has his own, like, he always wears bow ties, and has his own style very clearly defined at such a young age. And understood that it was okay to want to experiment or to want to explore another side, and he didn't see it as like, you know, it wasn't something that we actually had to explain to him and say, hey, this is what you're doing. And so that was really easy.
That's really nice, isn't it? We're just saying before this interview how we learn a lot from kids. And how they just come in with a judge-free zone, you know, they just like, well, this is how it is, this is what's going on. Now, we really appreciate you coming all the way from New York City to be here at NewFilmmakers LA. How was it last night for you? You have a good time?
I had a blast. It was amazing. Again, it's our LA premiere, so we had friends that came to see it that had never seen the short before. And Jeffrey and I just had a good time, and we were just like, we can't believe we made this short, and we're really proud of it. And we're sad that, you know, my co-director Michael and Jodie couldn't be there. We had so many people come up to us asking us about Jodie. She was so amazing.
I know.
And I was sad they couldn't be there, but, you know, we were just really proud.
Well, everyone's busy, and it's great that you know, made the time to come here. What's next for you?
I am working on my first feature.
Oh, fantastic!
And I shot a proof of concept last year, or actually in 2016. That has been, you know, doing the festival circuit, and I got signed at UTA, and so I'm packaging that and putting that together. It's called Zenith. Yes, it's about a black woman who's adopted into a white Mennonite community. And who basically decides to leave that community on the eve of her wedding to go look for her biological mother. And she goes into the city, and it's like a fish out of water story. She's never been around other black people before, and the shit hits the fan.
I want to see this like now. This is brilliant.
I hope I can make it like now.
Let's make it. We'll put that out to the universe for you, most definitely. Listen, Ellie, you're super talented, and I'm so glad to have you here, and we can't wait to see much more of your projects. But you know, congratulations on Uniform, and
thank you so much, and thank you for having me. Our film.
Anytime. You are totally welcome anytime, trust me. But you know, you've got a great future ahead, so congratulations again.
Thank you.